Are you looking for an edge, flexible income, and immediate professional respect? Discover the hidden opportunity of becoming a public official with the book, Becoming a Notary by Derek Spruill. This beginner's guide provides the universal roadmap to launch your new career. You will learn the core mission of deterring fraud, the essential tools of the trade, and exactly how to protect yourself while building a respected business. Get your copy of Becoming a Notary on Amazon, and step into a rewarding profession.
Welcome to Notary Knowledge.
Yes, welcome everyone. Glad to be here.
I want you to imagine, just for a second, trying to build this highly lucrative six-figure professional services firm. But there is a catch, right?
There's always a catch.
Right. The government legally caps the absolute maximum revenue you can make for your core service at exactly $2 per transaction.
$2. I mean, structurally, that just sounds like an impossible business model. It's a volume trap.
It really is. It sounds like, trying to build a restaurant empire where you're legally only allowed to sell 99-cent French fries. And you can't even upsize them.
Good luck with that lease.
Exactly. But this isn't some hypothetical business school thing. This is the actual statutory reality for a notary public in a state like New York.
Yeah, and yet, despite those incredibly strict caps, thousands of people are out there building massive multi-tier professional enterprises.
Before we really get into how they do that, a quick reminder, if you want to see our faces, check out our video podcast, No Notary, with Eddie Montes Travis.
Highly recommend it. And don't miss Marylyn's 90 Seconds of Notary, too. Great quick tips there.
Absolutely. So our mission today is exploring this massive shift, the evolution from a simple transactional clerk, someone who just, checks an ID and pushes an ink stamp, into what the industry calls a strategic professional services enterprise.
Right. We are looking at the modern architecture of trust, how smart operators completely bypass statutory caps, how they evolve into premium specialties, and the legal landmines that can just destroy it all overnight.
It is a wild ride. And to understand how these empires are built, we've got to look at those baseline constraints first. I mean, the state fee schedules are just eye-opening.
They really are.
Like we said, New York caps an acknowledgement at $2. Florida's better at $10.
Yeah.
California sits at $15. But if your whole business is sitting in a storefront waiting for someone to hand you $2 for a stamp,
you are competing entirely on volume and proximity. You're a commodity at that point.
right?
If you charge $2 and the guy down the street charges $2, the client just goes to whoever's closer. You have zero pricing power.
So how do you escape that?
You have to separate the highly regulated act, the actual notarization, from the completely unregulated service of logistics and convenience. You introduce travel fees.
Right, but even travel fees are this bizarre patchwork.
Yeah.
Right? You can't just charge whatever you want everywhere.
Definitely not.
Like in Maryland, the state caps your travel fee at the federal mileage rate, which is, around 70 cents a mile, plus a strict maximum flat fee of $5.
Yeah, you are not building a huge margin on that.
No. But then you look at Nevada, and they have these hyper-specific hourly caps.
Nevada is actually fascinating. They cap it at $15 an hour during the day and $30 an hour at night with a 2-hour minimum. But the kicker is that the state legally protects the notary's time.
Wait, really? How so?
If you and the signer agree on that travel fee, right, and they cancel while you are driving there, you are still legally entitled to collect that fee.
Wow. That's a level of protection you just don't see often.
It's rare, but the real leverage, the real money happens in states like California, Florida, and Texas. They basically operate on an open market travel fee system.
Meaning there's no cap.
Essentially, yes. There is no statutory cap on what you can charge for the convenience of driving to a client, as long as you meet two very strict conditions. The fee has to be explicitly itemized separately from the notarial fee, and the client has to agree to it in advance.
That changes the entire game. So in Florida, the ink stamp is $10, but the travel fee to rush to a hospital at 9 p.m. on a Sunday for a medical directive, that might be $150.
Exactly. You are no longer selling the stamp. You are selling speed, logistics, emergency convenience.
Okay, so you master the logistics. Suddenly you're making, $50 to $100 an appointment instead of $2.
Okay.
The classic next step is the real estate market, right?
Yeah.
Becoming a notary signing agent.
An NSA route. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
You guide borrowers through mortgage closings, paying anywhere from $75 to $200 for a single sitting, which sounds great, but I see a massive structural flaw here.
The macroeconomic roller coaster.
Exactly. If your entire revenue is tied to mortgages, what happens when the Fed hikes interest rates to 8%?
Volume just plummets. Nobody is buying, nobody's refinancing. Your phone stops ringing.
You aren't even a business owner at that point. You're just a passenger on the Fed's ride.
Which is exactly why the smartest operators don't stay in real estate. To recession-proof the business, they expand into what we call Tier 3, non-notary and complementary trust work.
Okay, what does that look like in practice?
Well, they leverage the institutional trust they already have, their background checks, their commission to offer services that are always in demand. Take live scan fingerprinting.
Oh, that's brilliant. That taps into corporate HR compliance, right?
Exactly. Healthcare workers, teachers, security personnel, they all require mandatory fingerprinting. And that is completely independent of the housing market.
Right, people always need jobs.
Always. And you see the same insulation with apostille services. An apostille is an international certification for documents, and it is notoriously complex.
Oh, navigating a foreign consulate is a nightmare. Like, if a company is setting up in Germany, the document authentication is brutal. You need local clerk certification, the Secretary of State, the U.S. Department of State, and then the consulate.
And one missing staple or signature, and the whole package is rejected.
Exactly.
So that bureaucratic friction, that is what you monetize. Clients will gladly pay $75 to $300 a document because you know the exact sequencing. You save them weeks of delays.
And there are other ways to monetize that time, too, like permit running.
Oh, yeah, huge for commercial developers.
Right. A construction crew sitting idle costs thousands a day. Paying an independent professional $150 to physically sit at City Hall and grab a building permit is a massive ROI for them.
And you just interleave those with field inspections. Lenders pay $35 to $40 for someone to drive by, take 5 specific photos, and submit a digital report. It takes 10 minutes, and you just map it along your route.
Plus, if you're commissioned in Florida, Maine, Montana, Nevada, South Carolina, or Tennessee, you can legally solemnize marriages. People get married in any economy.
Truly diversified. But, there is one niche that sits at the absolute top of the mountain. The ultimate premium service.
Trust delivery and estate planning.
Yes.
This one fascinated me. A client pays an expensive estate planning attorney thousands of dollars. My first thought was, why would that high-end attorney outsource the actual signing to an independent notary?
It seems weird, right?
Yeah, isn't that like a Michelin star chef plating a masterpiece but handing it to an Uber Eats driver to bring to the table?
It does seem counterintuitive until you look at the law firm's internal economics. Executing a living trust isn't just one signature. It's 6 to 10 individual notarizations, coordinating witnesses, initialing dozens of pages.
It's highly administrative. It can take a full hour at the client's dining room table.
Exactly. And that attorney is billing, what, $400, $500 an hour? For them to drive to a client's house and point at signature lines for an hour and a half, they are losing money.
So they outsource it.
Right, to a certified notary trust delivery agent, or CNTDA, for a flat fee of $150 to $300. It frees up the attorney to take on new clients while ensuring the execution is flawless.
And the market for this is staggering. There are an estimated 50 million American families who still don't have a will or a trust.
Endless growth potential.
But how does a solo notary actually convince a powerful law firm to hand over their clients?
B2B positioning. They use a marketing framework called the 3 V's: vision, value, and volume. They don't walk in asking for a favor. They walk in as a strategic partner.
Oh, I love this. You sell them the vision of a streamlined practice where they never have to leave the office. You show the value of their reclaimed billable hours. And you prove you have the capacity for their high volume.
You become the polished external extension of their firm, but hitting that level creates a new bottleneck.
Geography.
Yep. If you have 3 law firms sending you deliveries plus apostilles, you physically run out of hours to drive.
You hit the geographic ceiling. So you have to transcend location entirely. Which brings us to Remote Online Notarization, or RON.
A total paradigm shift.
The idea that you can sit in your living room in Florida and legally notarize a commercial lease for someone sitting in a coffee shop in Tokyo. It's wild.
It is. And COVID really forced the issue. States slashed the red tape. Today the economics are great. Florida and Nevada cap online acts at $25. Maryland and Ohio at $30.
But you don't scale by just doing the webcam notarizations yourself.
Right. You become a middleman, you build a nationwide signing service, you secure massive clients like national title companies, and you dispatch the assignments to a vetted network of contractors across all 50 states.
You become the dispatcher. But man, managing remote contractors is a huge liability. If a contractor misses a spousal signature on a $5 million commercial loan, The rate lock expires, and your agency takes the hit.
Which is why you implement ruthless quality control, specifically mandatory scan-backs.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Before they drop the papers at FedEx, they have to scan and upload the whole package.
Exactly. The agency audits every initial, date, and stamp before the client ever sees it. If there's an error, the contractor drives back immediately.
And the digital platforms themselves go way beyond just looking at a license on Zoom. These KBA, right?
Yeah.
Knowledge-based authentication.
Yes. The system dynamically generates specific questions from the signer's credit history, like, which of these 4 addresses did you have a mortgage on in 2014?
Stuff only they would know.
Exactly. Then they layer on AI credential analysis. The AI analyzes the microprinting on the ID, verifies the holographs, and checks the barcode to catch sophisticated fakes.
And the digital seal itself isn't just a JPEG. It applies an X.509 digital certificate. It's a cryptographic wrapper. If anyone alters a single digit after the notarization, the seal visibly breaks.
It's incredibly robust, but operating at this level introduces severe legal risks. A single misstep here doesn't just cost you a client, it can cost you your freedom.
The biggest landmine being UPL, the unauthorized practice of law.
This is the most vital boundary in the profession.
Think of it like a pharmacist. You might know exactly how a drug works, you know the side effects, and you know it's perfect for the patient. But it's fundamentally illegal for you to prescribe it. Your job is to fill the prescription safely, not write it.
Perfect analogy. For a notary, the boundary is the difference between legal information and legal advice.
Right, so information is objective. This document is titled a pour-over will, or the attorney's sticky note says sign here.
But the second you cross into subjective customization, it's a crime. If they ask, will this trust help me avoid capital gains taxes, and you answer it, you just committed UPL.
Even recommending which pre-printed form to use at a hospital crosses the line, and the penalties are devastating. In South Carolina, UPL is a felony, up to a $5,000 fine and 5 years in prison.
Wow.
In California, it's a misdemeanor, but it comes with massive fines, revocation of your commission, and unlimited civil liability.
Stay in your lane, fill the prescription, don't write it.
Exactly. But there's a secondary threat, too. Corporate employers. This is the misconception of commission ownership.
Oh, this happens all the time.
A logistics company hires you, pays for your state application, your surety bond, your stamp, and your journal. A year later, you quit. The boss says, leave the stamp and journal here. The company paid for them.
And legally, that boss is 100% wrong. A notary commission is a public office. It belongs exclusively to the individual on the certificate. It doesn't matter who bought the physical supplies.
Right. The Texas Attorney General issued an official opinion on this. Employers cannot retain a seal or journal. California and Florida have laws in their government codes forbidding it.
Because that journal contains public state records. If an employer locks it in a desk, they are effectively stealing state property. You have to stand your ground.
Speaking of standing your ground, it is time for a brand new segment. Good question. What would you do?
Oh, I love this segment. Let's hear them.
All right, rapid fire. Scenario 1. Tara in Texas is at a hospice facility, and the signer is heavily medicated. What do you do?
You have to assess awareness and willingness. If they can't communicate clearly that they understand the document, you absolutely cannot notarize. Safety and ethics first.
Good call. Scenario 2. Liam in Louisiana shows up for a real estate closing, but it's literally the wrong house address on the paperwork.
Halt the signing. You call the title company or the agency immediately to re-verify. Never alter the document's property address yourself.
Right. Okay, Patrick in New York is asked to notarize a prenup, and the groom asks if a certain clause is standard.
Classic UPL trap. You ID the signer, you witness the signature, but you offer zero legal advice on the clauses. Tell them to call their lawyer.
Hannah in Hawaii arrives for an appointment, and the signer is clearly on a very strong herbal high.
Yeah, impairment is impairment. Whether it's legal or not, if they are high, they cannot consent legally. You have to walk away.
Makes sense. Last one. Sarah in Virginia is called to a hotel to notarize an NDA for an A-list celebrity.
Privacy is paramount. You follow all your state's journal requirements, but you absolutely do not leak that information, take selfies, or post about it online. Professionalism wins.
Great answers. So before we wrap up, we encourage you to buy the Notary Knowledge books by Derek Sproul and visit the Notary Knowledge website. And please rate the show, subscribe, and share it with others.
Yes, and if you have questions for a segment, email your questions to Derek at dereksproul.com. We will try to answer as soon as possible at the end of our shows.
But as we look toward the future of all this, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. We are entering an era of smart contracts on the blockchain and AI generating deepfakes that look incredibly real.
It's terrifying, honestly.
It is. If technology can perfectly mimic a human and a blockchain can instantly verify a transaction, what happens to the human notary? Do they become an obsolete relic?
It's the existential question, but honestly, the reality might be the exact inverse. As digital spaces become completely untrustworthy, it creates a profound crisis of trust.
Yes. And in a crisis of trust, the physical human element doesn't lose value. A vetted, state-commissioned officer sitting across the table, looking you in the eye, confirming you aren't being coerced, that becomes incredibly rare.
It becomes the ultimate anchor of truth in a digital world.
It stops being a $2 commodity and becomes the absolute premium service. So remember, you aren't looking at a bureaucratic technicality. You're looking at the foundation of a human architecture of trust. Time for the credits. Executive producer Derek Spruill. Lead writer Marylyn Trotter. Graphics Eddie Montes Travis. Music Thomas Bynum. Produced by Magnificent Works Business Solutions.
Amazing team.
Truly, don't just be listeners of the knowledge, be doers of the knowledge. This is Notary Knowledge. Until next time.
Ready to unlock your notary potential and boost your income? It's time to move beyond basic notarizations. In Notary, Niche Navigator by Derek Spruill, learn the most profitable specialized services. Learn to master high-demand areas like loan signings, international apostilles, and I-9 employment verifications. This essential guide offers new ideas to help you become the go-to expert in your field. Grab your copy of Notary, Niche Navigator by Derek Spruill today and start building your empire.